Hey guys, Road Warrior here. I'm back on Fishing Planet. I'm going to put the Mighty 3 up on my channel and do this live. Before we get started, I'll kind of just show you guys the marks. Um, Generally speaking, I'll start up here. Uh, Various baits, poppers, buzz baits, everybody kind of knows the same thing. But I'll start here and just kind of go through this channel. Actually, I'll start here, turn around, come in through here. This place can get confusing, but it's not too awful bad. And then I'll probably rotate in through this area. Come all the way up here. Take your first right, hit this spot. If I'm doing good, there's these two spots right here definitely overlap, in my opinion. But you can get them, right all through here. And then from there, if I'm doing okay, that's assuming I'm doing okay, I might come down in here and try to get something. But I want to say, yeah, there's one there. So we'll kind of just rotate on through there. That'll basically be the run. You get about, I think, an hour in this thing, so that's basically the run. Again, with these comps, I never know what's going to happen, especially when I live stream. Man, sometimes the bite rate's just absolutely horrible, but on this one, I've usually had pretty good luck in regards to getting fish. So, again, I'll do my best. I have not fished for these for a while since the actual big bass tournaments. The last time I came here and fished for the bass. So, with that being said, here are the rules. It's basically just your best three. That's where you get the key hint, Mighty 3. So it's the best, your biggest three speckled peacock. So that's what everybody's going to be going for. Again, your rewards are not horrible. Definitely, if you had lost your X Series half-o walker, I hope nobody. How you doing, Maximum? Glad you tuned in, buddy. Appreciate it. Now, if you've lost this X Series walker, that might be a good thing for you to come in and and try that out. You're lucky. But again, a lot of these comps I've noticed, and just as putting all these up on my channel, they've been doing it for a long, long time. So, in other words, there's going to be an experience gap of as far as how long these guys have been doing this. So, score-wise, I want to say this has been the fourth or fifth time I've played in it. Basically, you're looking around 60 points to win this thing. That's 320s. Now, if somebody gets really lucky and gets 321s, you might see a 61 or 62, 63, but most of the time, the score range is going to be around that 61 to 62. One keynote I would also say on this, what can happen to you, it happened to me in the tournament finals. I was just a gar slayer. And if that happens, my apologies, but you guys that play in this kind of know how this goes. So, again, without further ado, we'll go ahead and hop into this thing and I'll see what I can do. I've put up as high as 59 to 60, but again, those points can go up there. You caught a 107-pound tarpon? Awesome, buddy. Good to hear. So we'll go ahead and join into this. And I'm also going to do the Mighty 3 as well. Oh, you did it today. Awesome, Maximum. Good stuff, buddy. But again, I'll probably start with some poppers, buzz baits, that sort of thing. And I'll just kind of see how I go. But like I said, a lot of these guys, they've did. Whoa, no, Deli's in this too. Deli won the World Bass Tour tournament, so that guy's in here. It's going to be fireworks. So, in other words, I'm not expecting too much. You're going to put these things up on the channel, just kind of show you guys how these play out in my own view and kind of what I think of it. This one's usually pretty fun, but just kind of depends on your luck too. So, and oh, you did it with a feather light? That's insane. So we'll start here on spot one. Again, I thought this was an hour. It's only 45 minutes. So yeah, so your time's limited against your best three bass. Again, I've got to where I normally get, several unique. It just depends on your luck on the size too as well. So, but I'm going to assume a lot of people are probably using like bigger hooks, that 5 to 7 range. Again, I haven't fished for these in a while, so I may just catch a bunch of gar. Also, in the majority of your spots, you're going to either have largemouth bass, depending on where you're fishing at, gar. You're going to have peacock bass that don't count. So there's going to be a lot of blocking fish, so to speak. So you're going to have a lot of blockers to wade through as well. I don't know, John. I don't know why you didn't get any notifications. John, I got one of my streams froze on there, one of my bowfin. I had to restart last night, and that thing is still froze on there. And I had a guy message me and saying, "Hey, you're late for your stream." And I'm like, "No." I was like, "That thing just froze up." I was like, "I don't even know how to get it off of there." So, Yeah, I just really don't know how to get it off there. So I'm still learning my way around YouTube, guys. So my apologies, but I don't know. That could have been a part on YouTube's issue as far as that thing freezing up, as well as notifications. So I also kind of put up a small clip or a montage of me catching unique perch. Just on, I was trying to compare 10-0s to 14-0 offset hooks. If anybody wanted to take a look at that, you could. But I did put a little bit of work into that now. Again, it's the best three bass. Ultimately, what you're going to have on this is just basically you're going to be looking at the top guys are all going to have 60 points in this thing for the most part. They're all going to have, 320s. At least it's been that way every time I played in it. So, again, this is one that's usually fairly fun though. But again, once you practice the run, maybe you don't get those lucky numbers. It's definitely one worth participating in just for the fun factor. And I'm actually setting my anchor just because I don't want to get myself out of place. I don't know if this is a trophy or uni. I'm hoping it's a uni. It's a uni, but it's not a very big one. You're kind of wanting all of them to be 20 pounds, and that's kind of the problem in itself that can happen to you. So, but again, we're gonna go and rotate to the other spot. I did notice I'm probably gonna just stick with the 7.0 popper until it doesn't work. Again, this place can get confusing, so kind of what I do is once I get this one, I kind of guys showed you on the first. Then just come back up through here and do the run. Now, a lot of people are probably fishing in that open water over there. I prefer the canals. Sometimes I'll hit and miss on it, but for me, my collateral damage is I'm going to catch a lot of gar if I go on a bad run. So, again, keynote the marks and stuff that I showed you, that can happen to you. But I kind of know these canals better than I do that wide open space. I used to fish here a long time ago and enjoyed fishing over through here. So this is kind of where my run would, so to speak, be. Oh yeah, I figured you were tired, John. I know you had a lot going, buddy. I think that might have been a gar right there. I'm not 100% sure, but I know I've got over here before and got stuck in the, and all these. Oh, that was actually a bass. And again, if you guys don't like the 7.0 popper, try a 5.0 popper. If you guys like your buzz baits, you guys can kind of just play along and throw out whatever you want. But the marks I gave you on this right side is definitely good. That's awesome, man. John, what'd you guys end up doing? I'll scoot up here a little bit. And again, I'm wasting time. Also, guys, strategy-wise, you might not want to give one spot more than 7-8 minutes, but that's all up to you. If you got your lucky spots that you already like, then, obviously if it's backed up like this, you kind of want to try to get the uni, but every once in a while, some of them will get stubborn, so, again, those things will happen to you. Just hopefully you don't hook into a bunch of gar. That's normally my downfall on these things. That or I'll get, 4 or 5 unis and they're only 18 pounds, so. Food and plenty of drinks. Well, that's good. I'm glad you guys had fun. That's a good one, but it's probably just a trophy, not 100% sure. If it's a uni, I think it might be a small one. But we'll take it whatever it is, right? That's just a trophy. You know, we got 37 pounds, but that's nothing to brag about because you'll see, again, these guys are going to be, by the time it's all said and done, it's going to be, Deli's already at 58 pounds. By the time he probably catches 8 or 12 unis, he's going to be at that 60-pound range. So, oh yeah, I haven't fished these Johns though since that tournament. So, and I wish I'd not, looking back on that tournament, I should have just ran this way anyway. But and again, I might be slaying both in today too. That's kind of what happened to me in that final, that tournament final back there a month or so ago. But which is all fine. But again, I wanted to post this one up here and just kind of show you from my vantage point. This is one I'd recommend to play in. I think you could put a string together and, you know, and catch 320s. And it'll just take you a little practice. But again, some of these guys, you know, that Deli, I never get to see in his lobby, but my guess is he's probably going to catch 8 to 10 in 45 minutes. I really would not doubt that a bit. So, but it does look like we did get the uni here, so that's a good thing. And now if this is a 20 pounder, you know, that can help us out quite a bit because we're going to gain. Remember, it's your top 3 fish. That's going to count. Yeah, you had fun with this one too, John. Yeah, I remember when we first started practicing before we played in it. It's one that's enjoyable. Yeah, definitely a nice one. Let's just hope it's, okay, well, we know it's not a gar, right? As long as it's not a gar, please, okay, yeah, it's a bass. I was wondering this thing's fighting. Again, you guys, I'm trying not to, I've never had one of these really spit the hook, not on this rod at least, but I'm hoping. 19 pounder, we'll take it though, guys. Definitely will take it. And that got us up to 50 pounds, and you guys can kind of see how this works. So basically what you're going to want to do, this spot up here can kind of get confusing. As you're driving along, you know, hit down on your plus pad or up, but I got mine all the way zoomed out so you can kind of see. Now, I know I'm going to want to take the first right. You know, these canals, when you guys come in here, can be kind of confusing, but I kind of showed you from the start. Yeah, thanks, John. I wish they were all 20s, but we know how this goes. But this one's a fun one anyway. Once you get up here, you know, the first right-hand turn that you can take, that's where you're going to want to go for the next spot. Now, I do have a marker right up in front of me, but that's actually largemouth bass. So, again, I'm going to hug this sideline here. And then as soon as you get past this right here, just take you a right. Again, it doesn't matter. You could probably stay in the middle. Sometimes I just kind of come over here to the left on this. But it doesn't really matter. I usually kind of favor this left side, so to speak. And then I'll, oh, is Josh not playing? Oh, he might be watching me to see how bad I do. Very good chance. Again, it does seem to be, you know, like I said, normally I'll rotate lures in there, but if one gets hot, I'll just stick with it, you know. For me, for whatever reason, when I use the buzz baits and the nymphs here and stuff, I seem to just sit and catch so many butterfly and off things. So majority of the time for me, I'll miss. It's going to be a bowfin or the gar. But now if the gar are infatuated with me, so to speak, you know, or if they love me, then I'll just keep catching gar, and that's just the way it goes sometimes. But I'm hoping this is at least a trophy. Now they're unique, so you know we're not doing horrible. Again, I'm not going to get excited about being in third place, not in this thing. Again, 60 pounds or 60 to probably 61 pounds is going to win this thing. So unless I can go through here and start smacking some 20s out of the park, I'm still going to be behind the 8 ball. But again, you can kind of see on this run how this would work for you. So, oh no, Josh is playing. Josh is in my room. Again, guys, kind of help you out. These markers here are kind of confusing. It's odd up here because Again, this spot up here will not overlap really. I mean, it does overlap, so I always have trouble up in this spot. I come in through here, you know, you can catch them here. I usually have a little better luck right up here. Of course, now that I say that, I'll probably mess up, but both of these spots right here, in other words, you can't catch it there and then come and catch it right here. Uh, they are combined, so to speak, but I'm going to try this up here and just kind of see. This spot here, for whatever reason, usually gets me. I don't know why, but it usually does. In other words, this one could hinder my progress throughout, but nonetheless, we did get 3 unis, and we just need to improve upon that. So in other words, since we've already got 57 pounds out of 3 fish, I need a fish bigger than, you know, the 18 and 19. I think I got 2 18s out of 19 if I'm keeping track. So basically, we kind of need some 20 pounders to pop in here. But what you can see is there's already a guy that's got 60 pounds up there. So unless I can get 3 20 pounders by default, there's no way to catch him. But nonetheless, this is still a fun comp to come in and play. So I definitely would encourage you to come in and try this one out. 2 19s and 1 18? Okay, yeah, thanks, John. And again, the unique butterfly doesn't count for anything, and you know, by weight, it's so small, but that's not a bad miss. Again, what can happen to you, I said I'm doing pretty good on this one, but what can happen to you if you run this run and you're sticking with the poppers, if the gar are going to hit you, they're just going to hit you, and I'm not kidding. You'll sit up. I was catching in the World Bass thing. I was catching like 27-pound unique gar. I was just slaying the gar and the bowfin, and that's just how my tournament went. But nonetheless, I had a lot of fun in that tournament with my friends. And John, unfortunately, was not able to play in the qualifier 2 or 3. So, but I think he had a pretty good chance. We had a good run put together for the semifinals for sure if he was able to attend. And one thing I'm not certain of on here as well is there might be a respawn timer. I don't know if it's 30 minutes or 40 or 45. In other words, ooh, I think that was a good one. In other words, if a guy was to catch one fairly early in a 45-minute tournament, let's say you catch one in the first 2 or 3 minutes, now your spots might respawn. In other words, you could just do a big lap and just start over. And that's kind of what I found out since I started playing along these comps. If you can figure out the respawn timer and that sort of thing. Now I know at the Amazon and the other ones, there's around the half-hour respawn time. On this Mighty 3 here, I'm not 100%. Oh, was that a... I don't know if that's a bass or something nice. Anyway, going back to that respawn timer thing, it's, a lot of these guys are just, again, my hat off to them, but they got some of this stuff figured out. They know where to go. They know the respawn time, and that's the stuff that you kind of bridge the gap, to get a little better at it. But again, this is something I think you guys probably enjoy and have fun with. Out of a lot of the comps that I posted up, this is actually a fairly fun one. I think we do got another bass. Another 19, so I guess we'll gain a pound out of that, John? Or no, we'll gain a couple pounds out of that. Alrighty, great. Okay, guys, now forgive me up here. See, that's my run. That's the run I like, is through there. Now, I kind of messed up. A lot of the other people like this area over here, and I just don't know this area as well. I think at one point I'm probably lost right now, to be honest with you. So you guys can feel free to laugh at me. Yeah, I know, bro. I think I'm lost, though. I hate this over here. I'm literally probably gonna have to pull out my map here in a second and figure out where I'm at. Dude, I'm lost, though. You guys don't understand. I see my marks. Maybe. Well, the odd part is for me, I like fishing for the. Oh, that's three. That's unique bass there for sure. This over here is, I think, where I like farming buffalo, maybe. Yeah, that's my buffalo farm. What's comical is I didn't actually anticipate having this quick of a run. I normally almost never do. And this is part of being unprepared here. I want to say, is this the spot? I'll throw a couple casts over here. This is one of those unilateral places where I could get a largemouth or the. I do remember casting past that dock, but I got a couple other spots I can hit. Nonetheless, we did put up 59 pounds. I guess I got 27 minutes left. I'm going to try to keep going, see if we can get a 20 pounder. But again, food for thought, kind of have your run planned out. That's happened to me before. Not too long ago, I posted up the Bloody Threat comp and went through my typical 5-6 spots that I had, and somehow I was doing extremely well, ran out of spots, but I rotated back. So I'll try a couple of spots here. I think I want to even say. Well, this is kind of the area Josh would fish. Now I know I've caught him back up in here, so I'll give it a couple casts here. If not, I'll look again here at my map. But one thing I noted about a lot of this area over here, there's so many largemouth bass that that was a gar, right? Pretty sure that was a gar. That was a largemouth bass. Yeah, I know I can catch them there. Let me look at my map again. My apologies, guys. Like I said, I didn't anticipate having this quick of a run. I want to say. I'm going to say this is probably a park mark right here. And maybe I cast that way. I appreciate it, John. From my farmer turned it. Oh, that is not where I want to be. See, that's why I don't like this over here. Right here is where I need to be. Alright. I need to go down and to the left, guys. Again, this is why I normally don't come over here. I haven't did this run over here enough to have it memorized like I do my other one. That run that I showed you guys when I started with this was the actual run that I would do just for fishing. Like I said, I just got in these comps, a month or two ago, or around February. So I was more of a guy that liked power level and stuff. I hadn't really got into the comp, so a lot of my stuff that I've had some friends help me here and there, but a lot of my stuff on these comps is just for me farming, power farming and farming cash and just fishing for fun. So, but once I get this down, I would assume these areas over here I could probably do a little better. Now I do got another spot that I can go to towards the end here too. So I'm saving a spot. I got the last 10 minutes if I need to go catch another one. But again, I would assume I'm going to start catching gar here pretty quick. Again, and kind of how those scores are going to play out. They're, once they get 7, 8 or 9 of these, basically they're kind of just, they're not throwing unis away, but the computer's automatically going to just keep track of your fish for you. So it's not this here is not like an actual tournament where you got a net that you got to sort through. So the fish actually keeps track of the stuff. Not to bring up a bad memory for Josh, but he accidentally threw away a uni in the big tournament. So in other words, on this, you don't have to have that panicked frame of mind when it pulls the fish up and your net's full. In other words, the computer is automatically doing it for you. So basically, the only way my score is going to go up is if that's what you get, Josh. You were making fun of me saying I was going to slay them gars. That's funny, buddy. Not laughing at you. Laughing with you, man. You seen me on that tournament. That was painful. I'd streamed that, but I still had a lot of fun, you know. I didn't really expect to make it to the finals as well, but I enjoyed myself. It's unfortunate that I got the Gar card, so to speak, but I did have a lot of fun in that thing. And of course, my popper's gonna spin. Gar Slayer. Still after a 30? Still after a 30. What do you mean, a 20? I think they only get... How big do they get here? I think they only get 22, 23 here. I don't know. I can't remember. I know I just always tried targeting a 20 to 21. I have got a 21 pound one in this before, but uh, I've also got a 21 pounder and then two 15s. And one time I played in this, I want to say I had three 17s or something silly, and then the rest of it was all Gar. So, you know, those things can happen to you as well, so don't get too discouraged. And again, since I've been okay with this popper, unless it gets really slow or something, I'll probably just try to stay with it. I can try a couple casts with a buzzbait if it goes bad, but again, I want to say I can gain about a pound, maybe even be a half a pound. This is where things get really tricky, is when it's going to be going by ounces almost, and you'll kind of see how it. I know once I seen a guy have 61.5 points in this, but he had to have some nice fish. I don't know if that was a bass or a bowfin right there. That was a nice one. That definitely was not a bowfin there. And you guys tuning in and out, we're just playing in the Mighty 3 comp here on Fishing Planet. We're doing okay, but we definitely need some another 20 pounder to stay up here. And there's a good chance Bam and some of the other guys are not in there. I'm really surprised that Deli's not at 60 points now. I'll give this one a couple more casts. If not, I'll rotate down and see. I've already got the trophy from this spot, and sometimes that'll happen to you, and the uni he missed, the uni missed, so and sometimes it'll take him a long time to come back. As you can see, Roman's left and rejoined, so he's probably trying to reset his bite rate, because he usually does pretty good in this. He must be slaying them gar too. Gar or largemouth, I'm sure. Okay, I don't think this unit's coming back, guys. Sorry, when I said that, I was getting ready to get a bite. Golly. Alright. Again, these are decisions you guys got to make. You know, like I said, I'm kind of doing these things as a play along, and you guys can just kind of watch and see what decisions you might have made differently than I did. So I'm probably going to come down here and see if I can hit this spot. Get my anchor set. If I can't do any good here, I got a couple other spots I can hit towards the end here. I want to see. Oh, yeah. Right here. And a common theme on a lot of these things, guys, they're just kind of off the edge of these islands, if you haven't noticed. Now, in fact, I remember from the that tournament, I needed to be up here a little ways. There we go. Always a good idea to test before you set the anchor. The reason I'm setting my anchor is I don't want to have like stick drift or something and get out of position and have to keep positioning my boat. So kind of a little fun fact there that might help you. You know, as long as you don't got a really lightweight rod, the fight times aren't horrible, so you're better off to save yourself time. It's not trying to have to reposition your boat over and over. I think this is just a common. Josh is slaying some gar there at that nice 27.7 pounder. That can happen, guys. Like, again, you guys that you love, you know, I do have a buzzbait equipped on one of my other rods, but I'm the type of fisherman. I know sometimes I'm good at rotating, you know, when I'm doing things as far as lure selection, that sort of thing. But man, if something's hot, I usually just try to stick with it. So I've caught 4 uniques off this popper. I haven't even changed. So. Thanks, Anderson. I appreciate it, buddy. Thank you for cheering me on and stop by the stream, man. I hope you stop by more. You take care. I've always wanted to go to Brazil. What a beautiful country. There's a bowfin. Bowfin are chasing me too, so. First fish at 4th spot. Well, if it helps you feel any better, it looks like Deli's not doing too well either. I would have put my money on him. I think he's in 6th now. I'm in 7th, so, you know, not only do you got to catch several of them, but they need to be that 20-pound variety. So, Josh, now if it helps too, the popper's hot for me right now. I don't know if it will be for you. I know how wacky this thing is, but I was gonna run the 5.0s, and for whatever reason, they're on fire on this 7.0 right now. And I don't know if I got a gar this time, maybe. No, I got another bass. I don't know if it's big enough or anything, but see, that can happen too, guys. Again, you know, I'm kind of competing at the same time I'm narrating as we go, but in this situation, and there's nothing you can do, you're going to just kind of have to move on. Now, I've had this happen to me before. That's kind of an undersized uni, so just keeping the math simple, like I said. Those top guys, even though we got 59 points, you know, you need 3 20-pounders. And that's just kind of the way the ball's going to bounce, so to speak. But I might even have a spot right up here. Let me look and see. I don't know this run on this side as much as I do. Like I said, the first part of this this clip or whatever is going to, if you guys watch it back, I shared all the marks. But the first part of that's just kind of my farming run, to be honest with you. A spot that, these spots over here we kind of just gained, and, you know, when we're getting ready for that tournament. But I don't even think I like this spot, to be honest with you, but let me look and see. I think I always end up getting bass or something over here. Yeah. So here's a good spot to park. But again, you know, you're more than welcome to find your own spots. I like those canals. That's kind of where I'd even got my big ones in there. If you can wade through the gar, those canals are actually fairly good. Usually what happens to me over here is I pick up bowfin and largemouth bass, but not trying to wish myself bad luck, but I'm just kind of telling you from experience. So when I used to farm here, leveling up or just having fun, I hit my canal run, and then I'd just kind of go fish from tarpon from there, and then come back once they respawned, and then I would just go back and just kind of do that same run. But You know, again, all these things I'm putting up, I put up marks and stuff for you and just kind of give you the basics of what to do. From there, if you guys want to run, there's nothing wrong with the buzz baits and anything else that you might like on these. But as you can see, for this particular run, the popper's doing all right. So, um, and again, Josh, you notice here is leaving the thing. Also, I've been putting a lot of this stuff on my channel trying to help you guys, but I would say you guys look through some of my comps and stuff. There's a thing I think we've been referring to as dead lake. If you end up in one of those situations when you're fishing one of these and you're just not getting a bite or just things are going horrible, we don't know if the game's been glitching out, but it's something now that I've noticed. It's really bad. My bowfin tournament I did yesterday, the meaty fellas, the huge eyed tournament, a lot of this stuff, you know, I'm posting up content on there, and for whatever reason, I'm just dead lake. Now, when I'm doing a stream, I can't turn the stream on and off, but I'm just passing this information along. A lot of the top players are telling me, you know, to try to reset your game by just closing your app, reopening it, and then to kind of see if your bite rate improves. Again, that's not 100% foolproof, but you know, it's better than sitting on dead fish. And now, since I'm streaming, that's happened to me several times, and there was nothing I could do. I just had to sit there and just, you know, fish in dead water basically. But just wanted to bring that up. Now you can see here, you know, just kind of watching this play out. This will be a good run for you guys if you want to come in and try this out. Like I said, just let the numbers fall into place. But if you do come in and for whatever reason you go to those spots and you're not getting anything, then definitely your game's glitched out. So try turning it on and off a couple times. If that don't fix it, again, that's something on Fishing Planet's issue. So it's a great game, so I don't want to sit and knock it all the time. But you know, when that happens to you, it's just frustrating because you know you're able to catch the fish, and it just seems like the computer is broke. Now that I don't have much time here, and you kind of see I'm probably out of position a little bit. I'm gonna try to scoot up on this next cast. Now that I'm running out of time. Again, you'll also find this on almost every comp, or you guys know how it is, fishing in general. You're kind of better off when you get that that uni first. Now that I got the trophy here, that little 9-pounder, this uni, it's almost like a chess match sometimes, and that's you know, up to you. You're gonna rotate or you're gonna stick your one spot out, and that's something that's all gut instincts from there. But nonetheless, no matter what's happened, we've put together a good run. So I'm going to scoot up just a little bit, do another cast here, and I'll show you guys a couple other spots. Alright, I lied to you guys. I got to do one more cast. I do this all the time. Come on and hit. I just need one more nice one. I think that's even a bowfin. That's a good sign to get out of there. As you guys can see, that was a bowfin. Now this next spot's kind of, it's pretty well known, but kind of what I do there to save yourself time, again, just hop over to here. You know, your game's paused, so you're not losing your time. Hop back in here. Now, hopefully I don't get lost. I've been known to get lost at this lake before. And there's some spots down in here to the left as well. You know, again, the clock's a ticking. These are these instinct things that you do on your own. And hopefully, yeah, I don't want to go that way. Okay, yeah. I think I'm going to be coming in the back way over here. Again, if you guys find yourself in this situation, entirely up to you, but there are some spots back down in here you can go to. But it's going to be a bunch of gar as well, so that's if it'll let me through here. It's not going to let me through there, is it? It's literally not going to let me through there. Alright, now if this happens to you, feel free to laugh at me. Don't waste too much more time. I tried taking a shortcut and I didn't hit that just right. There's a spot at the Amazon you can do that between those mangroves over by the islands going for shark. Thought I usually was going to try to show you that trick, but of course that failed. And some people, you know, they might come back through and just respawn and go right back through that and try to get your respawn, but I'm trying to show you guys a couple fresh spots, so we'll see if we can pick that up here. And one of them, you know, in particular, it's been on YouTube for a long time, I'm sure. You kind of just want to look for these dead trees that are down. You got the dock there, right? That's your other spawn point. And then you can come over here. This is one of my favorite spots when I first started fishing here. You just come over here and you can catch them just right between these trees. And you'll just note it from over there, just off of that dock. Again, since my time's going to be limited, and I've caught so many, I'm going to come over here, and I'd rather go to a fresh spot than a spot that I'm trying to wait to respawn. So, in other words, just kind of play it here. Now, I got one more backup spot there, so kind of in my head, I'm thinking I got about 3 minutes here and 3 minutes down there. And that's kind of what you got to figure. And as you can tell, we're getting a lot of the bowfin. Now this might be one of those situations, if you noticed, even though I was sticking with that lure a long time, if you notice, the bowfin are just attacking me, you know, wherever I go. So maybe later on in your run, you might want to switch out and then maybe go to a buzz bait, and whatever combo you like. Now it all kind of depends too on. I've had this lake in general is kind of weird for me. Sometimes I have better luck, and this might be a you know, just a regular unique peacock, but nonetheless, you're going to kind of wade through those issues, and that's kind of why I don't like the buzz baits here. In other words, you're kind of on a rough spot, because if you go with poppers, you're going to get bowfin and gar on the side as far as a collateral. Now, if you go with the buzz bait, you know, you can pick up the gar and the bass, or the largemouth, or the butterfly. So this all depends on what you guys want to do. I think the bowfin are just going to come after us no matter what. Actually, 1 second here. I'm actually going to switch that out. Bear with me, guys. I'm going to try the rattlesnake. Again, what I'm trying to do is isolate them bowfin out. Normally, they love the nymphs too. I've noticed that from fishing at Quanchkin and that bass tournament there. The bowfin absolutely love the nymphs. When I'm trying to target peacock bass, you don't want all the extra competition. So I got about, give this spot one more cast and I'm going to have to go. In fact, if I don't get it here, I think I'm going to spawn down another spot. Oh, I missed something. Missed something again. That's just unfortunate. And I'll just kind of show you guys this last spot again. Just fish there between these two trees. And there again, like I said, I'm posting all these up. Now, if I was playing off stream, I would be trying really hard. But again, I'm just trying to put these things up as kind of as a play along, so to speak, to help a lot of you guys out in these comps as I've been learning myself. I knew when I first started doing these things, man, they are confusing. And then you just kind of come down here at this corner and cast out here. Anywhere through here is good. You guys will notably see that. But just come down and through here at the end of these trees, and you know, you might be able to pick you up something. We're going to go right back to popper. Now, one thing about this spot too, there's some major gars here as well. So we got about 2 minutes and 40 seconds. The kind of scenario is we need a 20 pounder to probably gain about a half a pound. I want to say we got 3 19 pounders and some change. So we need one 20 pounder to probably gain just like a half a pound or something maybe. So we'll just see what happens. But in other words, the clock is not in our favor. And just for, since we're almost out of time, I'm going to go ahead and, even though that 7 green was the our magic guy for today, I'm going to go ahead and look for this white switch out, and maybe they're going to want a blue one. We got something, but I can't tell if that's a bowfin or a bass, so we'll see. I think it's a bass, but I think it's only a trophy, guys. Oh, no, it's a nice one. There we go. See how we only gained, you see how that happened? We only gained 0.7, but nonetheless, that put us up into 6. So I'm going to haul some butt back over here and see if we can get us another. I don't think we got the time. Again, with the clock a ticking, we did get a buzzer beater there, so to speak, but you can see how that plays out. You know, those every little ounce counts. So you basically kind of need 3 20-pound bass in here. So I want to say we caught 6 or 7 uniques, and we didn't do awful bad. But we'll take a look at that here in a second. Oh, that was him too. I really think that was a nice bass. Ah, he missed it again. You have one? You only got one? I don't even know what to tell you, Josh. I had a good run, but I just couldn't get the big ones. But anyway, going on through this here, guys, we got one unique at 18. We got 2 at 19. And 1 at 15. We did good. I want to say, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we got 6 uniques. This, the name of the game is, you know, you got to have those 3 20-pounders. And just again, guys, in closing, I appreciate you guys supporting the channel. I hope this helps you guys out. This is getting ready to conclude here on the Mighty 3 Bass Comp here on Fishing Planet. Now, coming up, I probably will be, or yes, I'm definitely going to play in this one. This is coming up next. This is more just a lucky tournament. Basically, you're just going for a lucky size catfish there at the Maroon, or not the Maroon, excuse me. I want to say this is, oh, it is at the Maroon. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and post this up as well. But I'll be playing in this here in approximately an hour. So if you guys want to tune in, I'm going to take a little break from the stream and close this one out so it saves on this. But anyway, you guys feel free to check the channel out. There's a bunch of stuff on there to help you guys out. And thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed again. But the money maker today was definitely that popper. If you guys are curious about what rod setup I was using, again, this is just a smaller version of the Zeus 8.2, as well as the Thunder Spin. Now, you guys that's watching my videos, you notice there on that rail retrieve, I'm using this here because it doesn't have, the recovery on it's only 31.5. In other words, you wouldn't want to put the Kraken on that unless you're throwing a spinner or jig head, just because this recovery is higher. So a key note on that, guys, your top water, use the lower reel speed, and it'll get you better bite. Your jigs and everything else, that's when you want to use a faster reel speed. So I hope it helps all you guys out, and good luck on the lakes, guys. See ya.